Okay.
Didn't we have this last week too?
Yeah. Okay. I think. Okay. Welcome everybody. I think we're actually good to go now. We'll see. Can you all hear us just fine? I think I'm hearing something. Okay. So, yep. So we are good now. All right. Awesome. So we're live here at the Games Tavern. Welcome to Dirty Deeds, where we're going to go in and explore the coolest world of Dungeons and Dragons Eberron. I messed it up the first time and I messed it up again. This is going to be fun. So if this is your first time here joining us here at the Games Tavern, we want to welcome you here. Go ahead, subscribe, follow us here so you can catch all the videos that help support us, the crew, cast, everybody in the background there. Also remember, not only can you watch us live here on Twitch every Monday, but you can also see us on YouTube. About 48 hours later, we upload the videos so you can go back and catch everything you need to. Go look at some of the old trauma I put these guys through and maybe get yourself caught up. But I'm excited to get into the night. I'm really looking forward to it. And before we do, though, we're going to go ahead and go back through our announcements again real quick.
So don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you can also subscribe using Amazon Prime. This would support all the shows here on the Games Tavern, as well as all of our background support and the tech goblins getting everything working for us. Prime Gaming subscribers would also get access to our sub-only emotes and to our subscriber-only Discord channel on the TGT Discord. So come if you have Amazon Prime, click the link below the screen over this way and show your support. We really appreciate it.
And another awesome way you can show your support is by cheering on your favorite character tonight. So when you cheer 500 bits, we award inspiration to a random player. But if you cheer 1,000, you get to pick which character gets inspiration. And last week, it 100% saved our hides. So we love you. And it's a fun way to keep us going.
I've said it before and I'll happily say it again. A humongous thank you to Overhead Games for sponsoring the show. Please go to Overhead Games, or you can check it out yourself by checking the link in the chat.
We're giving away an epic character generator from overheadgames.com. The raffle for the package will begin shortly and we'll continue to take entries until the end of the stream when we pick a winner. Type !epic, !epic. Once you see the notice in the chat that the raffle is live, you must be a follower and you must be present at the end of the stream. You must be present at the end of the stream for staff to contact you. That's very important. Got to be a follower and got to be here at the end of the stream.
Yeah, we're just all having all sorts of fun already tonight. We're about to get into the fun again. Last week, our adventurers here went ahead and they dove into the den of the Manticore. They traveled through finding traps throughout this cavern in the mountains, finding trails of kobolds and stuff, having traveled through here recently. Found a few traps, worked their way into the actual Manticore's den where they found the mate of the Manticore they had killed outside of New Seer. Proceeding in further, they entered a small room that was, and were played host to by an individual named Two, who was a member of House Tarkanin, who one of our adventurers had a previous experience with at one point, who had tried to recruit Ro into House Tarkanin at one point. They started talking for a little while. The group got a little impatient and decided that it was time to fight. At which point, 2 displacer beasts dropped from the rafters above the room, and a very harrowing fight ensued where, the generosity of some of our viewers probably saved their bacon. And we find ourselves now in the room where they just finished this fight. One of the displacer beasts has left. 2 lies dead on the ground, and another displacer beast is laying on the ground just staring at Halceris after he used the spell Command to tell that cat to stay put. So adventurers, welcome back to the world of Eberron. What would you like to do?
I want that whip.
I'm going to look at this cat and lock eyes with it, and I'm gonna just because I'm kneeling next to Ro, and I'm going to say, "Get." I'm gonna tell it to go.
So, at that, you see the displacer beast jumps up into the rafters and disappears off up into the shadows.
I really wanted to be friends with the cat.
Echo, it's okay. We might just be dog people.
Why can't we be all animal
bird
people?
And bird
Exactly. Let's just be all animal people.
We could have been elk people, but that doesn't seem to be working out for us.
Okay, we don't have to bring that up right now.
I immediately fall backwards. Just to a seat. Just fall to the floor and just take a seat and let out a long sigh.
Isn't there a bed in the corner?
Yes, there's a bed. There's a bed in the corner. He's got a desk. There's a bunch of chairs around there, a couple carpets. You do still have those two large pink pillows that you saw over in the corner that were kind of looked like, judging by now, there was probably the displacer beast had kind of torn them apart a little bit. They had used them as beds.
I'm gonna walk over to the bed and I'm just gonna just sniff it first, see if it's like clean.
Don't get into other people's beds.
But I'm so tired.
No,
it's right there.
No. I mean, she does kind of have a point. We kind of need some rest, guys.
just for a little bit.
The rest of this room, like we have seen the corners and whatnot, but having seen the displacer beast disappear up, looking up, is there a hole in the ceiling where they were crawling through, or are they just chilling in the rafter looking down at us?
So give me a perception check.
Okay.
Can I help him? I'm sitting right next to him and I think I'm staring at it.
Okay, sure.
You're shining your spoon at it.
You're shining your spoon.
That is 19.
Okay, so with a 19, you think you do see kind of at the end of one of the rafters that's there, a large kind of circular hole, and you can kind of guess that they went into the rafters and kind of went off up into the mountain more.
I mean, this would be, if we were looking for a place to fortify, I think this would probably be our best bet.
Sounds good to me as I edge backwards towards his body to search him for the whip.
So how's the bed looking?
So the bed, it doesn't smell bad.
Okay.
It smells like this individual kept himself fairly clean as best he could.
Okay.
That's good.
I mean, he's living inside of a cave. But for some reason, he has this room that's got wooden floors, wooden walls. Like this place, somehow he built this actual living space within this cavern.
I'm not gonna get under the covers because I understand if it's weird. So I'm just gonna plop myself on top, maybe jump on it a little bit, and then
that's the line.
Plop backwards. Be like,
okay.
Oh, this is actually pretty comfortable.
It's about as comfortable as the bed you have back at the bunkhouse.
Just like home.
You check that one for scorpions first?
No. Karen.
Go on, Biscuit. Go check.
I look over, exasperated, on the floor. Scimitars out.
There's plenty of space on here if anyone wants to join.
Well, if Biscuit says it's okay, I'm happy to join, but
so Biscuit goes over, checks it out. He's not finding anything there, but he kind of jumps up onto the bed and starts nuzzling Echo a little bit.
Yes.
Wholehearted.
Even if I would never replace you with the displacer beast, Biscuit.
Of course, keep in mind, Biscuit is 95%.
That's
mechanical.
Totally fine.
Cool.
There's some furry parts though, right?
Yeah, it's like the one. He's got the one ear, and
the ear is the best part. Like I'm just gonna squish the ear. just gonna twirl the ear and like play with it.
Okay. All right. I think then we could probably bar this door. This seems to be the only entrance, and then I guess just keep an eye. Whoever is keeping watch, keep close eyes on that up there. I guess it will work as much as anything else. Steele, can you give me a second?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to go and investigate. Tu was sitting at a desk, right?
He was.
That was what I was going for next. Let's
same page, cantrip dads.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let's dig through that desk.
I look at that's while they go. I crawl over to Tu's body.
Oh, okay. Can I send Cafe up into the rafters to see to give us a picture of what's up there?
Okay. Yep.
How far it goes.
Okay, so we'll go Cafe first. So Cafe goes, does see that opening. And as he starts to kind of go into it, it just seems to go on, and then eventually you lose your connection with him. And he turns around and comes back.
So was he going up, or was it like a hole in the side of the wall? It
was a hole in the side of the wall, and he's just going down through, and it almost feels like it's getting colder, and it was kind of slanting down a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like it's going down deeper into the mountain.
I'll have him post up right there at the lip of that hole and keep it out.
Okay. So he's doing that. Halceris and Steele, you both go look over at the desk. So as you approach the desk, you do see what catches your eye is what almost looks like a piece of paper. Well, no, let me rephrase it. A piece of paper sitting on the desk. As you look down at it, if you could please go to document 2. This is the document that you find. It looks like it's a piece of paper that looks like it's got some sort of scratches and scribbles and some sort of charcoal on it. And you see dotted around this, you see red X's, 6 of them marked throughout this piece of paper. But it looks like it's just a charcoal scratchings. What do y'all want?
Does this kind of look...
Go ahead.
Go in sync.
Is this a like a relief sort of deal, or does it look like somebody just was scribbling?
So this is it looks like somebody was kind of trying to draw something out with the charcoal, and just instead of trying to be detailed with it, they're just kind of marking it in a way.
All right.
I have a suspicion about what this might be.
Let's hear it.
Do you guys show it to anyone?
I mean, I thought you and Moreau were looting a corpse.
I saw what you saw. I was asking if you brought it to attention.
Not yet. We're still looking at it.
Cool.
This appears to be places of attack. The shape looks very similar to New Seer.
You think those are farms then, or is that?
This looks like New Seer proper.
You're right. I see it now. So like, the bunkhouse would be down here, and the shop. Your girlfriend's place is right there. Oh, speaking of, now that we've survived, I have a gift for you.
Huh?
And he plants a giant kiss on Halceris. Backs up. Your lady says hello.
I totally opened my eyes at the sound of the smooch, and I just was like,
I'm pretty sure I also whip around like.
I look up from the floor, crawling towards the bodies, and I say, "Do you guys think this is the time for informalities?
For romance?
Romance? Which one of you have been reading the books?"
You're just gonna go. Then go turn left.
Lily Echo's been reading the books.
So if you don't know what they're talking about with this, you need to go back to episode 12 on YouTube and check this part out.
And a slow burn.
Yes.
I look at Steel. Thank you. Normally, I would prefer a little more romance before something like this, but beggars can't be choosers. But
desperate times.
Desperate times.
We're
Adrenaline
still-
makes people do crazy things. It's fine.
We're all still alive. That's what
Yeah.
matters.
It's true.
Adrenaline.
The only thing he's crazy about is you.
Okay, so while Steele and Halceris are
Making
exchanging, kisses, Taryn and Ro, the two of you go check the corpse of 2. So as you start to look through, he's got a nice dark cloak on.
Snatch that.
Yep, it's a solid black cloak. He's got a set of leather armor. You do find sitting on the ground a small handle that looks like it's the handle of a whip. One end of it just has what looks like a small little hole on the top of it. And when you look at the bottom part of it, you see what looks like the bottom of a glass vial, the same one that you saw him shove into it at the beginning of your fight. And then there's 2 different buttons on there, one towards the top part and one down towards the vial. You also find 20 gold pieces in a pouch that he has.
Ooh, swipe that.
We
And
split that.
And were you doing something with that whip handle, Ro?
I was holding it gently in a hand. I
Okay,
haven't
you're just
touched
holding it. Are you touching any of the buttons?
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna point it away like a champagne bottle.
Okay.
Like when you're holding, like the back end is one direction, the front end, neither of them are pointing at me.
Right.
So I'm gonna hit the button closest to the vial first.
Okay, as you hit the button closest to the vial, you see a little glass vial pop out the bottom of it,
Damn it.
hit the ground and shatter.
Shit. Okay. I'm gonna hold the hand. I'm gonna switch hands so that I'm not putting it down, and then search him with my other hand to see if I can find any vials.
Okay, so as you're looking through the pouch he has on his belt, you find 9 vials. However, one of those vials, when you look at it, it has a yellowish blue swirling liquid in it. 2 of them have almost a reddish liquid with some orange kind of swirl going around it. 2 of them have a bluish liquid with some white silvery swirls in it. 2 of them look like just a sickly green liquid inside of it. And then the last 2 have what looks just like a pure black liquid.
I gotta waste one of them. We know I do, right?
Of course. Yes. I suggest
not 10 feet away are 2 people with the identify spell.
Okay,
She probably, at this point, she probably does not remember that.
Nope, not at all.
No, but-
100%.
Come on, Tyrion, which one am I doing? Which one are you doing? Come on.
I have a strong feeling that Halceris's passive perception is pinging right now.
So you all do see Ro looking at this and looking at these different vials, like trying to decide what she wants to do here.
I say black.
No, black seems important. I say green.
Green seems
Poisonous?
yes.
Hey, Ro.
Should I do it? Should I do it?
What's going on?
No, I I found
What?
Talking someone down a building. Hey, let's go. Hey, what you got there?
Hey, buddy, it's okay.
I'm like this.
Step back. Step back away from the ledge, please.
Okay. I just want to try it.
Do it. Put it in.
Can we figure out how it works first?
Or
I
get
plug
behind
it in
cover.
and I press a button.
Yeah. I saw him do it.
Yeah, we saw it.
He hit me with it, so I think I'm pretty sure how it works.
I don't know if that's how that works either.
Sometimes. I don't know.
I'm moving behind the desk.
Yeah, behind the desk.
This train seems like it's going, so it's like, you know what?
Have you ever seen a thing like this?
So,
Oh, but
Okay, wait. Right.
Echo, what are you doing this whole time? Are you
I'm
trying to
literally
take a
just
nap?
hugging Biscuit, and I'm like, everyone's just so loud, and no one's letting me sleep.
Okay.
Wait, but I'll have my eyes closed and say, what color was the vial that he hit you with, Tyrion?
Yeah, Tyrion.
It was the blue with the yellow swirls.
Oh, blue and silver.
Yellow.
So there, when you look at them again, you have one vial that is yellow with blue swirls.
Yellow with blue.
There's two with blue and white silvery swirls.
How did it feel when we got hit by that again?
So it was, you were taking lightning damage from it.
Cool.
Electrifying, yes.
Yes, electrifying.
Electrifying.
You better shape
Shocking.
up, is what we're saying.
Wait. Oh, wait. Why not try a vial when we get outside?
But then what happens if we do it wrong outside and now I'm just swinging around this?
Well, when we're outside, we have more space to not be hit by whatever.
I hate to say it, but from where I sit, Tyrion seems like a voice of reason.
And that's saying something.
I know. I didn't want to say it. It felt wrong. But we could look at it. It'll take like 10 minutes, and you know exactly how it works. Okay. I didn't prepare that spell. How,
I approach slowly. Okay.
It's like you tiptoe on the wood and the wood starts creaking as you do.
Like I just have my hands out open, just like I'm not gonna try to take it from you. Okay. All right. Do you want me to take that too, or do you want to hold on to that one?
I continue searching the body.
You hold on to that.
I'm just like collecting the vials.
Okay.
Stuffing him in your pouch.
I also toss the pouch over to steal the pouch of coins.
Okay.
There are a few missing, but I toss them over to steal. I toss it over to steal.
I count them. I take a quick count.
There's 10 in the pouch.
Oh, a few missing.
There's 10 in the pouch.
Okay. So Halceris, you're gonna ritually cast Identify?
Yeah. So I'm going to first, because I was going to help Steele investigate a little bit more,
Right.
but this seems more pressing.
Yeah,
so
you take care of that. I'll check the desk. It's fine.
No problem. I'm going to actually be careful. You don't know if it's trapped. I'm going to tap you and cast Enhance Ability, and give you the Fox's Cunning. So you have advantage on intelligence checks.
Fair enough.
And then I will take just another corner of the room in full view of Ro, because I feel like she's just like over my shoulder, just like watching it, just like, I'll show you how to do this if you would like. But yeah, I will begin ritually casting.
Okay.
I'm now like I've gotten up at all this ruckus. Like I'm not gonna get any shut eye, so I'm just gonna
Okay.
carry Biscuit. Yeah. And all I asked for was like 1 or 2 hours of shut eye, and that's not possible. So I guess we'll figure out what Ro's doing.
Yes, it's a little feisty when she doesn't have all sleep. Something new. While they're doing that, while the cantrip dads are distracted and busy, I I stand up this time. I'm actually stand up. I'm not on the floor anymore. I slide roll 5 gold coins.
My passive increased over the past few hours, so just so you know.
You suddenly got stronger after the fight.
Oh, don't worry, that's coming. That's coming.
I feel like some gods or Cerberus above has smiled upon me all of a sudden.
While he's casting, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look and see if I can first check to see if this thing is trapped, I guess.
Okay.
Are there any traps or any trap doors or secret panels or anything super cool and spy-like?
Okay. Go ahead and give me investigation.
Advantage.
Yar. That's a 21 on that one. Okay.
There's no traps, no hidden compartments, no nothing.
All right. Search it for anything of value or worth.
Okay. As you start to look through the desk, you find another pouch with 30 gold pieces in it. And you see what looks like a schematic. When you look at the schematic, it shows a small handle and it shows some vials that go in one side, and it's basically a schematic of the device that House Eris is currently identifying.
I'm going to make a sleight of hand check.
For
making sure Ro doesn't see it.
Okay.
Feel personally victimized by Regina Steele.
So let's see here. The slide in. That's a 19.
19. Ro, go ahead. Give me a perception at disadvantage.
Is she? I was gonna say, is she looking at me or is she looking?
No, she is. She is dead focused right now on House Eris.
So what's your passive?
Well, my passive is a 13, so.
Yeah. So no. So Ro does not see. Ro is just like, you see Ro almost kind of like bouncing, like waiting for House Eris to finish this with excitement. Hey, what's everybody else doing as we finish up this identify spell?
I'm back on the body. I'm trying to see if I'm going to. I like the cloak. I like the cloak. So
okay,
pitch black. So that fits.
Yeah.
The aesthetic.
Yeah, it is a pitch black cloak.
Hey, Tyrion, is there anything there for me?
Take off his boots.
Oh, I already have good boots.
I toss you 3 of the coins.
Three coins. Cool. Thanks.
I walk over to Echo. I hand her the pouch, and I say, "Hey, let me see your boots." And I'm just gonna cast mending on the boots just to make sure if there's any extra rips or tears or anything from the shift, get them all cleaned up.
Okay.
If you don't want the coins, you can give them back.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
You have a pouch with 30 coins too now.
Oh, thank you, Steele.
Taryn, be careful with that cloak.
Are you putting the cloak on, Taryn?
I want.
Careful with the cloak.
You're ritual casting. Be quiet.
Before I was gonna say, before I put the cloak on, I want to take a look at it to see if I can see personally anything abnormal, or if it seems like a regular cloak.
Okay, go ahead and give me investigation.
Spiggity boop with the new dice, guys. The new dice. This is a new set of dice.
All right.
Investigation. Potatoes.
It's either a 1 or a 20.
You did it. You did it.
That is a 1 plus 3, so that's a 4.
It looks like a perfectly normal cloak.
Wonderful. I lay it next to House Eris. I do not trust myself right now. I'm very wary of that fight. This is the reason why we don't get in melee range.
Oh, but Taryn, it is a very nice cloak.
It's very nice.
You would look so good in that cloak.
It's a good cloak.
Dashing.
I put the cloak on.
Okay.
Practice your flourish. Practice your flourish.
I walked toward Halceris, and then I stopped midway. When I look at it, I hold it up and I look at the cloak. I look at it with its silky black goodness, and I turn to Ro, I turn to Echo. Yeah, I'm gonna put the cloak on.
I just look
In
up
one
from the desk.
motion. In one motion, I put the cloak. I take my cloak off and put the cloak on.
Okay.
In a
Like a quick change artist.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that. You put the cloak on, and now you've got a nice black cloak hanging from your shoulders.
Can I have your old one?
This feels nice. Yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out, kid. And
Is it clean?
we just got through a fight. Is this
Okay, I'll put it.
And I flourish the cloak and walk away.
Okay, I'll put it on after we give it a nice wash.
Steel, Echo, and Ro. I need you all to give me a perception check real quick, please.
Sword.
You're always asking. Actually,
22. Woohoo!
2, okay.
13.
13.
a 9.
A 9. Okay, so Ro, you're the only one that catches this. As Taryn puts that cloak on and he turns to walk away doing his little flourish, you see his eyes seem to be getting darker.
Hey, Taryn, take the cloak off. Take the cloak off. Take the cloak off.
Boy, I think I look pretty good. I haven't seen the mirror.
Take the cloak off.
But it's
No, take it off.
Mm.
Take it off.
Why should I?
I'm not going to take it. Take it off. Put it on the ground.
So Steel, you notice this in his eyes now too. So do you, Ro, or Echo.
Take it off.
I do an Arcana check.
Go, yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Can I just walk up to him and start?
Which
checking
that
at
would
the
be an
cloak?
advantage too.
I don't want it. Just take it off.
I'm just gonna walk over and tug it off. Try and tug it off with him.
Okay.
Big dumb idiot.
24 for my Arcana check.
Okay. You do not sense anything magical at all.
That's fun.
Halceris, at this point, you finish your ritual. What you have in front of you is called the Dragon's Tongue Whip. So it is a mechanism that has been designed to utilize different cartridges to simulate the breath weapons in a way of the 5 different chromatic dragons. Each vial is supposedly one of the different damage types from the dragons. From what you gather from this, each cartridge will last for 1 minute, and it adds additional damage to the regular whip damage. However, there are different levels for the concoctions, but you cannot figure that out with the Identify spell.
Pretty well. Yeah. Just like, okay, I think we got. Why is everyone surrounding Tyrion?
So
They want to take my cloak.
At this point, the rest of you all see Taryn's eyes go completely black.
Is the cloak still on him, or have I taken it off yet?
So as you're trying to take it off.
Yeah, I'm
of
just
him,
like.
Taryn drops unconscious on the ground.
This is why Rangers don't melee, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna just reach down and try and like rip the cloak off of him.
Okay.
I'm gonna like go and like slap his face.
Okay. So the two of you do that. You're able to take the cloak off of him, no problem. Echo, you're slapping his face, but you're not getting any response from Taryn.
Steel, Halceris, can you do something, please? His eyes were all black.
Please step aside. Yeah, I have. So, can I do just medicine? Like, does he look?
Yeah. Yeah, go give me a medicine check.
I guide myself because this seems like important. Anyway, it's not, hopefully. 14.
So with a 14, you're not able to find anything medically wrong with Taryn. As far as you know, Taryn is asleep.
He appears to be unconscious, but does not. Like he's breathing, still breathing fine?
Yeah, he's breathing perfectly fine. But you do know that elves don't normally sleep. Elves go into their trance. But just looking him over, Taryn is sleeping.
I might be able to do something. Hold on. I'm going to take my holy symbol. I'm going to take it off, put it on his chest, and I'm going to first use a bonus action to harness divine power to gain back a spell slot.
Okay.
With my channel divinity.
Yep.
And then so I gain back a first level spell, and so I'm going to just on his chest, kind of like in a chest compression with my symbol on his chest.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds just into his chest.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the healing roll.
It is 9 healing.
All right, Taryn, you recover 9 hit points. You are still asleep.
This seems bad.
He does not appear to be in any peril at the moment. This is because of the coat?
Well, he was
It
awake
might be
before
booby
that.
trapped. I think the cloak itself might have been cursed, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't show up like any kind of magic, so nothing that I could see.
Isn't
DM,
there some poison in the cloak?
Was there any poison? The last cloak that me and Rose saw had a glyph on the inside in a different black. If I flip this open on the inside, do I see something similar?
You do not.
I think this will require a few more minutes of study. And I will, since all my equipment is out already, I'll take the cloak and cast Identify on it.
Okay. So as you start to do that, and the rest of y'all are trying to sit here and figure out what has happened to Taryn. Taryn, you find yourself standing in the middle of New Seer. But however, as you look around, all the buildings around you are in ruin. Almost as it had been destroyed hundreds of years ago. There, you look in the sky, it is all black. Everything is covered in shadow.
This is interesting.
So as you look around more, you start to see almost shadows kind of start coalescing and turning into dead bodies of some people you recognize as the citizens of New Seer.
What happened to you, Lori? You were a good soul. Steve, you still owed me money. And I just start walking through the town.
So as you start walking, a particular body catches your eye over in front of what you can recognize as Mama Agatha's apothecary. You see the corpse of Halceris leaned up against the door with a stab wound straight through his heart.
I go and kneel by the body.
Okay.
Just not a full investigation, just to look and examine it.
So as you examine, it looks like he was run through by some sort of blade.
Now, where am I? And I stand up and I keep walking.
As you do that, you start to walk over towards the forge. And you find sitting in front of the forge the body of Ro. Slumped over the counter of the forge right next to the body of Amelia. With a very similar stab wound through the chest.
Seems like that new whip didn't help as much as we thought. All right. And I continue on.
Continue on, and you approach the Builders Guild. And you see Celia and Steele leaning up against the wall, both with stab wounds, very similar to the ones you keep seeing.
I'll see the pattern here. And I continue walking, fully aware of who I'll see next.
So, as you continue walking, you hear a scream come from down the road. A very familiar scream to you. Sounds like echo.
I run towards the scream.
As you start running down this road, shadows just start to part away from you. And in the middle of the road, near the ruins of City Hall, you see a figure standing there in a black cloak, holding the double-bladed scimitar that Echo carries. And you see beneath this figure the squirming body of Echo. This figure's back is turned to you.
You know you have no right to wield that weapon.
Neither does she.
Who's to say she doesn't?
And you see the figure's head start to turn around, and he pulls a hood off of the cloak. And you see the face of Carson, your bonded ancestor. Another tall elf, way on in years, standing there with a good, small little grin facing you. Black hair just kind of flowing down. You see a big scar going across his left eye. And he just looks at you. Why haven't you done it yet?
Tell me, why should I?
Because this does not belong to her.
It belongs to whoever's worthy of it. And she has been deemed worthy. Unlike you.
What do you know about being deemed worthy?
A lot more than you, apparently.
Really? Do you even know where this blade came from?
Doesn't matter. What matters is who has it now.
You see him pick up the double-bladed scimitar, kind of twirl it in his hand a little bit. You're right. And he takes it and plunges it right down through the chest of Echo. And you see her body just stop.
I am visibly angered. Do I have any of my weapons or?
You have all your gear on you.
Wonderful. I draw my scimitars.
Okay.
And I proceed moving forward towards Carson.
Oh, so you want to fight now?
I've always been ready for a fight, Carson. Seems like best of time as any.
He just puts his arms out to his sides. Well, then bring it on.
Very well. And I charge.
Okay, you charge. He just stands there with his arms wide out to the side.
All right, attack.
All right.
Scimitar attack.
So as you swing your scimitar, it goes straight through him.
As I thought, as I expected. And I looked to him and said, why have you brought me here? Why show me this?
Because if you won't do what needs to be done, then I will. With that, he takes the scimitar again, stabs it through the head of Echo.
My body, once again, you see that I am very much angered by the actions. The grip I have on the scimitar is tightened, and it's like I'm holding. It seems like I'm holding my breath, but then I let out a long exhale, and I stole my scimitars and I said, "Well, Carson, it seems as if you're vying for someone's attention. But I promise you it won't be mine. And you can do your best. You can try as you might to come and kill my friends, but I'm headed to you now."
With that, you see him pull a dagger out from his belt, twirls it around in his hand, and he slashes out at you with it. For 22 to hit.
All right.
You take 5 points of slashing damage. The rest of you, as you're sitting there trying to figure that out, you all see a line of blood on Terrence's left cheek just appear out of nowhere.
Guys? Something weird's going on.
What is happening?
I don't know. He's bleeding.
There's a line across his face. And none of us did it, promise you.
I didn't do it.
Like, my claws are in.
I don't have claws.
How far am I into this identify?
Only a couple of minutes.
Okay. I cannot stop what I am doing. Try
Yeah?
your best to stop the bleeding.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of like rip a piece of the cloth that Two's wearing and just like
Okay.
holding pressure.
Pressure.
All right. So back to you, Taryn.
Is there such thing as a face tourniquet?
No, I don't think so. You probably try and tie it around and
I don't want to stop his breathing, but if it's like just
no,
Can we
no,
try?
I think we
Just
Okay.
apply pressure. Just apply pressure.
Got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Taryn, Carson looks back at you. You feel the blood running down your cheek. So,
I wipe the blood and look at it, and then I look back at Carson.
what do you want to say to me, boy?
It seems that you think that you hold all the power, Carson. But you do not. As much as you think you do, you have no power over me. You're but a mere memory.
We shall see. You have until winter. If you do not do what it must be done, you will see me again. And then you see his figure just kind of turn into smoke and just kind of blow away. And now you look down and you just see the body of Echo with the scimitar sticking straight out of her head.
I grab the scimitar and take it out. And I just kneel next to Echo's body. And I close her eyes. And I just bow my head in a silent sorrow.
As you do that, you see Echo's body just turn to shadow and then just kind of drop to the ground and blow away as if it was mist. And you just hear in the background, just coming from all around you, the sound of Carson laughing.
I rage yell.
As you do that, the rest of you, Tavern comes wide awake, yelling at the top of his lungs.
Are you okay?
Face is bleeding.
Wipe the blood. This visible, seething anger.
I'm gonna scream. I drop all my stuff.
He's awake.
He's awake.
Are you okay?
How much? How many fingers am I holding? I'm gonna keep changing them. Show me your eyes. What color are his eyes now?
His eyes have gone back to normal.
Okay.
Did you feel something weird?
One can say it can be described as weird, yes.
One could describe it further.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
And I get up and I kind of go to the corner of the room.
Okay.
I punch the wall.
Okay.
Dude thing.
Go ahead, give me an attack roll real quick.
The wall punches back.
Like I'm not sure how many hit points.
I was unarmed, right?
Yeah, unarmed.
12.
The wall was a mimic.
It was a mimic.
So you're able to hit the wall without actually hurting yourself. I mean, you scrape your knuckles up a little bit, but what are y'all doing?
I know he's visibly angry, but I'm going to recall the moment when I've been in that kind of state, and I'm just going to walk over to him and just give him a big bear hug from behind and say, I'm glad you're doing okay. And if you need to talk about whatever went on, I'm here. And then I let go.
I turn around to the rest of the room and I say, well, it seems that you all are entitled to know maybe a thing or two of what went on. And I walk over to the chair and I sit down. And I look around and I said, as you know, elves of the, because Tavern, I've within the 2 years that we've been together, I've explained why I'm out of the Valinor region is because of my bonded ancestor with the bonded patron. I just never went into detail of why, what he did, or what was the reason. So I sit down and I said, so as you know, all Valinor elves, the Valinor elves they are bonded with their ancestors. And some of us tend to follow in the footsteps that our ancestors, in the path that our ancestors have laid out. I pretty much wasn't the case. My bonded ancestor, cynical little fellow, Carson, during the war with the giants, he betrayed the clan. He betrayed his war pact and basically sacrificed everyone. And that's a bit frowned upon no matter where you go, where you're from. So finding out that he was my bonded ancestor, my bonded patron, childhood wasn't as happy as you might imagine. Got tired, I left. Led the life that I led to be away from the elves, be away from Carson. But it seems that Carson doesn't want to be away from me. Decided to have a little chat of sorts. And he pretty much wants to kill all of you for whatever reason. I try not to understand his machinations. So there's that. We have until winter to find out whether to either kill him or he get to kill me. Before he tries to kill you.
Is he something we have to worry about outside of you?
For right now, no. Later on, I'm not sure, because honestly, this is the first time I've heard of a patron or ancestor calling someone to their world, to the afterlife. I think I pretty much died just now. Seeing that Carson died centuries ago, maybe even a millennium. So there's that.
So you're saying either we figure it out or we...
I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out. Hopefully. Pretty much like being...
Can't we all help you fight him back?
Maybe.
What?
Find a way to do that.
What is it that Carson is after?
Would you believe me if I told you I didn't know? He's just here. I don't know what his end game is. I don't know why he's so obsessed with all of you being here. Well, I say all of you, but really and truly, he probably just wants to kill Echo because she has the scimitar. The rest of you, I don't know what you have to do with it, but...
I thought we were cool about that.
You see, we are. No, you've been recognized. You've been allowed to have the scimitar by one of us that is presently here.
What if I just give it back to you and then all of this goes away?
My dear sweet Echo, I don't think that will be the solution to this problem.
I'm sorry I've caused you so much trouble.
There's nothing more than I've ever dealt with. It's quite all right.
Can I, DM, can I make a religion check? Because this sounds like the Valinor elves, if my memory serves, this is of the Undying Court?
No, they're different. No, so that is the other.
Sure.
Those are the high.
The high elves. Okay.
Yep.
So, but could I roll one? Because that's Brandon's memory. But
right.
Would I have any idea?
Go ahead and give me a religion.
16.
With the 16, I mean, you're familiar with the bonded ancestors. They're usually the ones who kind of drive the Valinor elves towards their path in life. They usually act as the guides and stuff. Occasionally, there are stories of the not so nice ones that get bonded, and it goes both ways sometimes on that. But that's about all you really recall.
During his story, did I finish my ritual casting at all?
So you did. And you don't really catch much for magical properties on this. You do, however, you get a vision in your mind of 5 blades in almost like a fan that are all splattered with blood.
Do I know the symbol?
Give me a religion.
Okay. I don't suppose I could guide myself on this religion check, could I?
No.
Okay. Seems like an important one. I don't need it. Hell yeah. That's a 24.
Heck
so
yeah.
With a 24, you recognize this symbol as the symbol of the mockery, who's one of the Dark Six. So the mockery is one of the dark gods of betrayal and bloodshed.
Wait, where is this symbol being seen?
So this is just in Halceres' mind as he finishes the identify spell. Yep.
I can't write notes fast enough. Soft scribbles. I need to learn shorthand. I think, yeah, so as I'm looking at it and just kind of doing the sigils and everything in my hands, and that shows up, I throw it like it's like hot in my hands. Like I just like fucking get it out of my hands. This is not... I'm not sure if being in contact with this is what put you in your state or not. I am not familiar with how prevalent the bonded ancestors' presence is, but this has the mark of the mockery. And I do not believe anyone should be wearing this particular cloak.
Perrin, as he's saying that, you look at this cloak and this looks exactly like the cloak you just saw Carson wearing in your dream.
I hate to say it, Tolzama, but seems like you're right. It seems a bit familiar. In my, let's call it vision, old Carson was wearing a cloak quite similar.
Then perhaps it is for the best if you do not wear it. At least until we are in a safer place.
Very well. And I tuck it away in my backpack.
Okay.
I would think maybe someone else should hold it. Not that I do not trust you, but it sort of possessed you.
I'll hold it.
Possessed, spirited me away to a shadowy realm.
Yeah, what you saying that doesn't make it better. It arguably makes it worse.
Depends on your point of view. But fine.
Can you just hold it for really quick, House Eris?
Okay.
Can you hold it up like this? I'm gonna walk up to it and just punch it.
Okay. You punch the cloak.
Punch it like that's what you get for making go unconscious and scaring us.
It's
And then
like
I'll
inches
grab it.
away from my actual stomach. It's just like,
You're supposed to hold it far away.
sorry,
Grab
sorry,
it
I didn't
and-
know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Echo, since I can't wear the pretty dark black cloak, I think I'll need mine back.
Oh, please go ahead. I didn't get to try it on anyways. It's okay.
Echo hands it back to me, and the cloak had its color. When I took it off, it had its color. It was brown again. When I grab it, you see all of the color drain, and like a little shadow wraps around it really quick. All the color drains out, and it's gray again. And I put it on.
That's a neat trick.
It's not much of a trick.
In better news, Ro, I have this for you. And I relay everything about the whip, and I will assume based on the colors of charges that it's for each of the chromatic dragons, and say, so, I mean, you have a charge for each. I think perhaps steel, maybe working together, we could maybe make some more. I do not know how these charges are made, so use them sparingly.
It's interesting you say that, because I found this, and I just roll out the instruction manual.
Well, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool too.
Does it say how to make more? Or is it just for the whip?
The schematic that you found is only for the mechanism itself, just for the whip itself. And it just references the vials.
It seems like you'll need to find a different schematic if you want to replicate the vials.
Are the vials, do I recognize them as being alchemical?
You do, yes.
All right. Okay. Hold on to those. Don't mess with them. If you keep them, I might be able to replicate them. I just need some time with the vials.
I keep one of each.
Yeah,
That seems
one of
fair.
each.
Okay.
I look over at the vials.
Okay, so Ro, are you keeping one of each?
I am taking one of each, like wrapping them in like cloth and like
Okay.
tucking them away, or
Okay.
I'll give them to Steel.
Okay.
So I'll have one of the remaining four. There are like four remaining other than
Yes.
that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll have one of each of those like carefully wrapped in cloth, like tucked into my pouch.
Are you gonna test out the extra one?
No, I don't think so.
When I have a seething headache. It's a very
It's
stiff
late.
migraine. So I
It
look
is,
at it. Possibly when we get back to Nusair, we can go see his little girlfriend and see if we can get you a vial pouch for something like that.
We took a nap before.
I'm on it.
No, we're gonna take some. We need to take some rest
I plan on it.
nowish. It's I'm starting to fade, but I will. I'll grab my alchemical component pouch and just. I think this will work, and I'll just hand over a bunch of empty vials, and I'll just take the vials out. It's just a pouch that holds
Can I have
potions.
about 2 of those vials, please?
You just want some empty vials?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
You have a test coming up. No. So,
I never
But
know.
we all need some sleep. Like now. I don't think we have much in the way of precautions at this point. I'm out of spells.
Okay.
I mean, I'm feeling okay. I can take first watch.
I feel all right.
I do not. So wake me up at the time.
You want the bed?
And Cafe is gonna post up overnight up in the rafter.
Yep. Okay.
So but anybody down here, you'll have Biscuit as company. He'll keep you company. So
Ro, would you give me a hand quickly, and we can move the desk in front of the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy enough. You're able to move the desk over. Get it in front of the door.
Pivot.
There's no space.
Okay, so you got Cafe watching the top, you got Biscuit at bottom with you, and you got the desk blocking the doorway. All right. And so, Ro, you're going to take the first watch?
With my spoon.
Okay. Before we
Isn't it still light in here? Sorry.
There is still some glowing lights up in the ceiling and the corners.
I'll take the last watch if whoever's up. I'll wake up at the end if you want.
I'll take second.
I'll take the last one.
Okay. So I will tell you that your night goes through mostly uneventful, except each of you in turn, as you lay your heads down to sleep, visions come to you. And we're going to get to those visions right after we take a short break.
Jesus.
Vision break.
Yes. So it's a good spot for us to go ahead, take a short break here real quick. We had a little bit of intense moment there with Tavern and his bonded ancestor. And now we're going to get into a few situations with everybody else. So just while we're out on break, if you have any questions for any of the cast members, go ahead and put question in all caps in the chat. And when we come back, we'll answer a few questions. And I actually have a question for the cast as well when we come back. And then, we got a few more announcements here real quick before we take a break.
Psst. Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Bring it in for a second. Want to know a secret? If you go check out the Games Tavern Patreon, you'll have access to brand new content that's dropped every week. That includes super duper fun stuff from your favorite, The Dirty Deeds Show. I promise you, it's the best way to support this amazing cast and crew. So just type in patreon.com/thegamestavern. It's all one word, and you'll have access to all this content. The latest updates include early access to the interviews from the Games Tavern Happy Hour, miniature paint plans from That Minis Paint Show, and battle maps and plugin encounters in your games. Come on now, just head over there and check it out.
Come on over. Remember also, it would still help a lot, but when you cheer 500 bits, we will award inspiration to a random character. If you cheer 1,000, you can choose who gets that inspiration.
And we're still doing our giveaway tonight, so type in !epic in the Twitch chat to enter to win an epic character generator from Overhead Games. Remember, please stick with us till the end if you'd like to win, as we will be announcing that at the end of the show, and you have to be here to get your prizes. And we will be back in just a few short minutes.
Oh, this is cold. I asked for my blood to be hot, boiling hot. Bring it back. Go fix this, please. It's so hard to get good help these days. Oh, hello there. It's me, Scalathrax, fiend about town and, well, dungeon owner. And when I'm not creating a horde of new problems for adventurers trying to rob my dungeon, I'm looking for a horde of new 5th edition monsters. So let me tell you about Tome of Beasts from Kobold Press. Whether you need dungeon vermin or world-shaking personifications of evil, the Tome of Beasts has it. There are more than 400 new foes for your 5th edition game. Everything from tiny drakes and peculiar spiders to demon lords and ancient dragons. Tome of Beasts includes monsters from the entire history of Kobold Press, with longtime favorites such as clockwork creatures, drakes and dragons, devils and archdevils. Check them out, some of my brothers and sisters in there. Dangerous flavors of the Fae, undead, and so much more. Use them in your favorite published setting, or populate dungeons in a world of your own creation. Pick up Tome of Beasts from Kobold Press and give your players an encounter they won't soon forget. Where's my blood?
Hey, thanks for watching the show. It looks like you're having a great time. Let me tell you really quick about That Benny's Paint Show. Every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every show, the host and their guests will be painting miniatures live on stream. They'll walk you through all the different techniques and products they use to paint miniatures to a high standard in a quick and easy fashion. They'll show you all the different things live, and on top of that, the audience gets to ask questions, and we're going to answer them live on stream. If you've always wanted to learn how to paint miniatures, this is a great way to do so. And on top of that, you can paint while you're painting with us too, and chat with us and tell us about your projects and share your pictures of your miniatures as well. We love it when people share their miniatures with us. So remember, That Mini's Paint Show, every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on the Games Tavern Network. Hello, I'm Ardor of the North. When I'm not raiding Scalathrax's dungeons, I'm seeking tomes of magic to bring back to the wizened wizards of my own kingdom. And that's why I'd like to tell you about a tome called Deep Magic from Kobold Press. Their kobold minions have traveled the plains, seeking the secrets of magic. They've unearthed ancient tomes of forgotten civilizations. They've been bargaining with demons and creatures of the void, and scaling towers of Shadowfey mages to unlock their secrets. Their tome, Deep Magic, includes dragon magic, elven high magic, shadow magic, angelic wards, ley lines, illumination magic, rune magic, time magic, mythos magic, and even alchemancy. Now they pass along their hard-won knowledge to you in Deep Magic, an arcane series for 5th edition. Here you'll find new schools of magic, arcane traditions, new and variant spells, magical feats, spell-slinging NPCs, and so much more. There are even more schools of magic than I've even mentioned. This book is 356 pages of pure magic to keep your players guessing, and your campaign fresh for years to come. You can buy it now at koboldpress.com.
All right, and welcome back, everybody. We're done with our break. Got ourselves some water. Got stretched our legs a little bit. We actually had one question did pop up in the chat here from Warrior Streak asking, how much does everyone trust Tavern now that this information has come out?
I trust Tavern full-heartedly.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Wonder why. I'd be worried if you didn't.
I mean, I think Ro trusts him a little bit more than before because, I mean, she bared her whole heart out and just, hoped.
Halceris has a healthy amount of skepticism. Happy that some information's coming out, but Taryn has made it his mission to be shady and scopy. And yeah, that's what I picked on the most. So
I would say Steel still just has like a mixture of like mild distrust along with a little bit of like just respect for somebody in a like similar background kind of thing of like, yeah, just he's so broody. You just got to be like, okay, that's fine, do your thing, but I don't fully trust you, so.
Yeah, Echo's glad that he sorry, were you you can continue if you
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Echo's glad that like Tyrion finally opened up a little bit more, but she kind of still feels a little guilty that part of whatever he's feeling might have had to do with her and what she brought forth. So I think that's gonna take a little toll on her. We'll see.
We love things that take tolls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I noticed.
But before we get into taking tolls with visions and all that, my question for you all is: you all reached level 4 at the end of last episode. What did you choose to go with? Let's go ahead and start with you, Echo.
I decided for the first time ever decided to take a feat, and I took Sentinel. So let's see how that plays out.
Probably be very useful. We'll see. How about you, Halceris?
It's boring. I took ability score improvement. Got to bump up the wisdom. It was a close call between that and Warcaster, but you got to get the higher wisdom. Increase that spell save.
Yeah. What you got, Steel?
I'm tempted to leave it open. The crew knows what I got.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to put it out here. I mean, we all know what you took, and
yeah, exactly. I took a feat, and you'll find out what it is soon.
Yep. All right. How about you, Ro?
I'll take guesses in chat.
Yes, please guess his feat because
it's awesome. I love it.
The team knows I was dithering for a while. But I ended up choosing Lucky because I thought it had the greatest potential for in and out of combat shenanigans. And we like tripping up our DM sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I like tripping you up.
And
Taryn, what did you end up taking?
I decided to just go with the dual wielder. It'll be better for for in combat when I decide to actually be a melee fighter. Melee. The platform bonus to AC while dual wielding does not hurt at all. And I can switch out faster, basically.
Yeah.
And actually utilize my weapon fighting style better. So yeah,
So we've got at least two of the most frustrating feats for any DM in Sentinel and Lucky. We'll just have to see what we can do here. But with the level up,
take mobile.
Oh.
yeah, that's another one. But with the level up comes more dreams and visions for our adventurers. We've already seen Tavern have his little confrontation with his bonded ancestor.
Yes, my little friend.
But Halceris, we shall begin with you. As sleep takes you, you find yourself suddenly floating in a very extreme, immense heat. The smell of sulfur and brimstone is all around you. And as you look down beneath you, you see what looks like a sea of lava. And you're slowly drifting forward as you approach what from a distance looks like a large island made of obsidian. As you slowly float down towards the ground of this obsidian island, you see a figure locked inside of a cage next to a throne. What do you wish to do?
Am I still floating?
No, you just now float down onto it. This cage is roughly 60 feet away from you. You see a figure of what looks like a woman kind of sitting down in the cage.
Do I see anyone in the throne?
So you see from your angle you're at, you see what looks like a set of large legs, red skinned, and you see a giant sword leaning up against it.
I will approach slowly, trying to make out what I'm seeing. I guess I would approach the cage first.
Okay. So as you move closer towards the cage, the figure you are seeing locked in this cage, it starts to look more and more familiar to you. And as you get within 20 feet of it, you see this figure lift her head up, and you see the face of Catalina. She looks like she's just pouring in sweat. Just the heat of this location looks like it's been wearing on her for you don't know how long. Clothes are just a set of rags that she's wearing. And she's just sitting there crying.
Yeah, I think it's blocking at first, but then seeing her, it's just a sprint. I am clearing that distance and I am against the bars. It's just, okay. You said, Catalina?
As you touch the bars, searing heat starts to burn your hands. And you smell the smell of flesh burning as you're grabbing your own hands burning on these bars. You see her look around as you say her name, and she even looks right at you at one point, but does not seem to see you there.
I start looking at this. Is there a gate? Is there a lock? Is this, or is it just like a box of bars sort of thing?
So you do see a door on it with a large iron padlock on it.
I'm at it. Do I have anything on me?
You have all of your gear on you.
I have a mace. I'm fucking up this lock.
Okay. As you swing your mace towards this lock, the mace goes straight through it. And then you hear what sounds like a very deep, almost humming sound coming from the throne.
I peel my eyes off of Catalina to look. It is my heart right there. So I look and say, who is doing this?
So as you say that, you see a figure stand from the throne, standing about 15 feet tall. You see a large, muscular figure standing before you, red-skinned, horns coming off of his head. He picks up this large, great sword that must be almost 8 feet long itself. And he just kind of starts looking around and starts speaking in the language that you do not understand. And you hear Catalina shifting around in the cage, trying to get as far away from this being as she can.
I think I'm just in a state of panic, but like trying to, I need to get in there, but like just in my head, I'm trying to like discern anything that I can find about this place. Where am I now?
Give me a religion check. I'll say religion or history, whichever you choose.
It's not going to be good in either. It's that's a 4. That's a 10 total.
So a 10 total. From some of the books and stuff you've read, just the environment around you, you almost feel like you might be on a different plane of existence. But that's about all you can kind of gather.
Sure. I will, I think I'm furious above anything else in seeing that this guy, does he have, looking at him, does he have keys on him?
He does not.
It's not.
So he just, when you look at him, he's wearing what looks like a belt and a rough loincloth. And that's really all this entity is wearing.
Yeah. Can I cast a spell? I would try to cast a spell.
Okay. What do you cast?
I cast Sacred Flame at him.
Okay. So you cast your spell of Sacred Flame, and you see the light just kind of coalesce around him, and it doesn't seem to affect him at all.
I try Toll the Dead.
You're just throwing spells at him.
Yeah, I'm anything in my tank right now. I'm just that, and then I'm back against the bar. Is she in the center of the cage? She pushed back, right?
She pushed back. Oh, yeah, so she's kind of back in the corner, as far away from this entity as she can get.
Can I get around the cage?
Yeah.
Can I maneuver around it? Can I touch her?
So as you reach your hand out towards her, your hand touches her shoulder. And she kind of jumps a little bit at that. Saris? Is that you?
Are you real? Are you here?
Saris, where are you, my sweet?
Lena, where are you?
Please come find me, Saris, please.
Where are you? Darling, where are you now?
And at that point, everything just kind of fades away.
I guess since I'm like against these bars, like being pulled out, because
Yep. And then you just go back into your sleep. Echo, as sleep takes you, you're staring out over the plains where you grew up. You're looking out over a training field where you see a group of halfling warriors who are training for their first time ever with mounted combat on clawfoots. You're just watching them as a child again. It's just bringing back all these great memories for you. The dust, the air, the clanging of the metal. Every once in a while, you see one of these warriors get bucked off of a clawfoot, land on the ground. A couple of them get scraped up. And you're just sitting there watching. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna wait. So is it the halflings that fall off, or is it?
Yeah, it's the so it's they're warriors trying to learn how to fight on top of these claw feet, and the claw feet are just throwing them because they're at, you can tell the clawfoots are having fun with
Oh
this.
my gosh.
Are
there any just watching around?
Yeah, there's a few.
I'm gonna walk up to them and just kind of hang out with them and like pet them and give them a hug.
Okay. Yeah. No, they welcome it. I mean, you come here all the time. You come out here, watch the training every chance you get. And these clawfoot, they know you. They're always friendly towards you. And you just
I'll even race one for fun. Like, hey, you want to go for a little run, and kind of nudge it, and like, I'll even give you a head start.
It just kind of looks at you, kind of starts scratching his feet on the ground.
Ready?
And then it takes off.
No, that's too much of a head start. Wait up.
Give me an athletics check real quick.
Athletics. That is a natural 20.
All right.
24 in total.
So with a natural 20, you're able to catch up and then just keep pace with this clawfoot as you start doing a circle around the training yard. As you come back to the spot where you started, you see off in the distance a large flash of light. And then a moment later, you hear just a booming sound and a rush of wind coming towards you. Dust and grass and leaves all get kicked up in your face. And you see a very familiar sight on the horizon of the dead gray mist coming towards you.
I'm going to signal to the clawfoots to, like, let's run away from it. And what are the halflings also doing?
So as you turn around to start signaling the clawfoots and the halflings of the danger, every single one of them, all the halflings mounted on clawfoots, are staring directly at you. Every single one of them, you see parts of their skin are falling off, to include the clawfoots, very similar to the T-Rex that you saw while you were in the Mournlands. Some of them eyes missing, whole chunks of their face are missing. Some clawfoots have huge chunks of their sides missing. All of them looking very undead, staring straight at you.
What's happening? Do they say anything back? Or?
They start slowly walking towards you.
I start backing away.
As you start backing up, you bump into something behind you. You turn around and look, and you see a large clawfoot standing there. And on its back, you see the figure of Talon, your father. Also looking the same as these halflings. Skin falling off, a huge gash across his chest. Just one of his eyes is completely missing.
I reach out to him.
As you reach up to him, he just quicker than you realize, he pulls a sword out and swings it down at you and slashes you right across the chest.
Dad?
And then they start trying to push you forward, or pushing you backwards, but they start moving forward towards you.
They like enclosing me?
Yes. So you see all the other halflings are now forming around you in a circle, and they're slowly moving in towards you.
I'm gonna shift.
Okay. As you do that, they stop for a second. And then they start coming closer and closer.
I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna stay there. I don't know what to do.
Okay. As they get in closer, they're about 3 feet away from you. And from every direction, the claw feet jump and they all pounce on you, digging into you. And everything goes black. Ro, your turn. So as you fall asleep, you find yourself walking through the streets of Sharn. You just got done with a training session with one of the noble children, teaching them how to use a wooden sword. And you're just walking your way through the market area, just perusing through the different wares and food and stuff. What do you do?
I think, it's a definitely tradition for me to stop by that like one fruit seller that like is kind of tucked away in the corner, and I always kind of, pop by and grab a fruit and try and act cute to get it on a discount.
Okay. So typical day. Everything's going just as it was every day for the last year or so. You get your fruit, this and that. You hear a couple children playing as they come running towards the stand. You take a step back to avoid them. And next thing you know, you hear a cart come rushing by. And you dive out of the way of the cart as it just barely misses you. As you hit the ground, you look down and the glove covering your hand got torn off. And the dragon mark sitting on the back of your hand is fully exposed. The driver of the cart stops, looks down at you, and has a look of recognition as he sees this mark on the back of your hand. And you're looking back up into the face of two, the individual y'all just fought in the room. And he looks down at you. So, what might your name be?
Can't say that's any of your business.
Oh, but do you see that mark right there? That's my business. And he starts to get down off the cart.
Nope, scrambling backwards. Like when like you're trying to get up too fast and your like legs can't do it, like just full crabs backwards.
Okay. So I'm not going to hurt you, dear. I just want to talk.
And talk from over there.
That gives you power. I'd like you to come with me and use that power. House Tarkanan could use your skills, and I see the weapons you've got. We'll train you well.
Trained just fine.
Are you, though? How about you show me what you can do with that mark?
Don't think I will.
And at this point, everything around you fades away. And then you find yourself standing at the edge of a very familiar cliff. And you hear the Boromar brutes behind you closing in on you. But this time you look at your hand and the dragon mark is already there. You know what happened last time you jumped off this cliff. What do you do?
I don't see another choice. So instead of quite literally falling off the cliff, I'm gonna turn back, look at the Boromars, and just fall back.
Do a trust fall back, okay? You start to fall from an 80-foot cliff, 10 feet, 20 feet, 40 feet. And as you're preparing for the very familiar that you dream about all the time, the sudden weightlessness, it doesn't come. And you smack straight into the ground. And your vision goes black. Steel, as you go to sleep, you find yourself standing in the middle of an unfamiliar workshop. You see all sorts of machinations around the room. You see different alchemy kits set up, or different alchemical components throughout this workshop. And over by a large balcony overlooking what looks like a huge cavern, you see a figure standing there, head of a bugbear, but the rest of his body seems to be some sort of machine. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna snoop. What I do best. I'm gonna just dig through, take a look at what he's working on, notes, just try to get a sense of what he's making here.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
That is 17.
So the 17, as you're looking through, you see what looks like some schematics and some blueprints of different kinds of Warforged. You see the regular humanoid Warforged. You see some larger colossi. You see some titans. Some of the stuff you have a little familiar with that you've seen before. But then you see some other ones that look like strange creatures you've never seen before. And various different other contraptions that don't look familiar to you.
Okay. I'll slowly approach. Gonna pick up some schematics from a Warforged or something that just looks really complicated. I'm just gonna be kind of taking it in as I'm walking towards the figure.
Okay, so as you're trying to grab the stuff, your hand is just going through everything.
Fine. I'll approach the figure.
Okay, so as you approach, you recognize the familiar face of Azrir, your mentor, as you were coming up as an artificer. Except his body has been changed. It's almost as if he's been replaced by a Warforged, but his head is the only part that you still recognize. And he's looking out over what looks like a large workshop down in a cavern that looks to be maybe a mile wide and a mile deep from where you're standing. What do you wish to do?
I look at the face and I'll say I'll revert to Goblin and say hail, wise one.
As you say that, one of his ears kind of perks up a little bit, but he doesn't turn to acknowledge you.
I've returned. Manner of speaking.
You see him just looking out over what you can see now is a giant workshop. You see Warforged walking around building other Warforged. You see Warforged putting together large titans. And he just starts to mumble a little bit. If only you stuck with me, you could be here by my side as we prepare for what's to come.
What might that be?
Doesn't respond.
What would you need so many Warforged for?
He doesn't respond to you. As you're trying to get him to react towards you, you catch a sight down on the floor of the large workshop, you see the familiar sight of an extremely large warforged walking around amongst the others.
Do you have a hand in making that thing?
So at this point, he just kind of turns around and walks away from the balcony. Starts to head off towards a small chamber off to the side of his workshop.
I'm gonna head to the very end of the balcony and take a closer look at that behemoth.
Okay. So as you look down, you see the large warforged that you recognize from the airship, except it looks like he's had some work done. He's got some large fans of what looks like blades coming off of his shoulders, other blades attached to his arms. And he almost looks like he's going around directing all the other warforged. And then you get the sense that somebody is watching you. And as you look up, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So you kind of look up into the room. The first thing you see is you see what looks like a large obelisk in a bit of a like a crater. And then just beyond that, you can't really make it out from the distance, but just looks like a large metallic figure sitting there, and you see what looks like a pair of dark red eyes staring back at you. This thing is even larger than this warforged. And then you feel something digging into your brain. And then your vision goes black. So, as you all come to, Ro, you wake up, your back is killing you. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Echo, as you wake up, you've got scratches all over your face and arms. You take 4 points of slashing damage. Steel, you have got a massive headache. You take 4 points of psychic damage. And then Halceris, your hands are burnt. You've got 2nd degree burns on your hands right now. You take 4 points of fire damage as you all come to. The morning is now yours.
I don't even want this morning.
We got so we got full HP and then you
Yep.
take from that. Okay.
Yeah. So you get your long rest, but that damage came.
Start off the morning with some damage. Love it.
Can I try before everybody is fully awake? I'm going to sneak over to Echo's equipment, and I want to take the boomerang.
Okay. Are you going to try to take it sneakily?
Yes.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand.
15.
Echo, what is your passive perception?
12.
12? Okay, yep. So you're able to sneak that boomerang away, no problem.
I'm gonna.
Do I see this?
What's your passive?
Well, my passive is 14. I was saying I'm like, I only had the 4 hours, almost like up.
Yeah, but so you weren't really trying to watch for Halceris to try to sneak a boomerang away from Echo.
Deal.
No, you were watching
Did you
for
mean
Halceris.
Halceris stealing it for
Wow.
Fro?
I don't know what it is.
Leading into the next set of characters.
I've got my own dream sequences going on. It's messing me up too.
Imagine if you mixed up our dream sequences.
Yeah, no, a lot of notes for
Heal.
him.
There you were standing.
So
Where the
anyway,
hell?
yeah. So okay, so you got Echo's boomerang. Nobody saw you doing it.
I'm gonna sit down in just a corner away from where everybody's sleeping. It's not a big room, obviously, but I'm just gonna try and get away from people.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna call Cafe to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, "Well, bud, you're gonna take a little bit of a break for just a little bit. I'm gonna see what I can do to help some other people with some of the gifts I've got. So, just have some rest, get some good sleep, and I'm gonna unsummon him, and what's left is just the black onyx that I used in his creation, and I'm just gonna pocket that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start tinkering on the
boomerang for the
boomerang. Yeah,
yep.
I'm gonna start tinkering with the boomerang. Maybe add a couple of little features here and there.
Okay. Right.
And then I'm gonna sneak it back into her pack.
Okay. So you start working your little tinkering on the boomerang. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm definitely pulling a Tavern and brooding a bit. just kind of like waking up, like going about our routine, but just like feeling a little bit just like shaken.
Okay.
Is the damage that we took, or like the damage that at least I took as Echo, is it visible? It's, I mean, I don't know. It's in the dream. It is. So the slash is visible.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take the. I have a cloak or whatever, and just kind of like cover it so no one really notices.
Okay.
And just.
Can I attempt to sneak that back into her bag? Because I'm just using an infusion that I already have created.
Yep. Go ahead, give me another sleight of hand.
14.
So Echo doesn't see it. Tavern, you do see him sneaking something into Echo's bag. But
and then is there a fireplace in here?
No, there's not.
But there's a how tall are the ceilings?
So the rafters are probably about 10 feet above you, and the ceiling just kind of opens up beyond that.
And I know there's an escape for smoke or whatever. So,
we also got the Manticore's chamber. You know, there was a big hole going to the outside.
Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna focus on my utensils for a little bit, and I'm going to get a set of cook's utensils, and they're going to just appear in front of me, and I'm going to begin making some food.
Okay. So you start making food. What are you making?
Let's see. I didn't bring rice. However, I do have some basic ingredients. So, I want to make kind of a like a scrambled egg and vegetable like scramble, you know.
Right.
A little bit of cheese in there, just something nice and hearty that's not going to be too greasy or filling, anything like that. And so anybody who partakes can gain an additional 1d8 HP if they would like to heal up after. So essentially, the food does 1d8 healing.
So that's after a short rest. They can take an extra d8. The long rest, you can make the treats.
Every morning, after every morning, I can make specifically the treats. The treats are going to be rice balls. I'm going to make rice balls that we can carry.
Right.
And then for breakfast, I'm making as we kind of gather together. I'm figuring we're going to be here for at least an hour getting ready and prepping.
Okay.
So, kind of like it's essentially a short rest.
Okay. Okay.
Steele's preparing breakfast. I look over the road, and I say, "Hey." I look over the road and echo, and how's Saris? Hey, I'm gonna go check out the Manticore.
Can I come with you? I wanted to do something too.
Sure. You're not gonna bite it again, are you?
Oh, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, no, I won't bite it.
Let's go.
Okay.
Bro, you coming?
Where are you guys going?
Yeah, we're gonna check out the Manticore corpse.
I'm good. All yours.
I was gonna say, why don't we all have some breakfast and we'll all head out at the same time? I don't know about you guys, but I'm still beat after yesterday.
You do that too. Let's look at you first.
So this Halceris getting up and looking at his hands is just like trying to rationalize what happened, and then in the course of it, like coming to there's a possibility that it wasn't a dream, and so he is like a man possessed in his journals, writing down. And if you want me to make a check, DM, that's totally cool, but I am writing down everything I remember, as much detail as I can get down into paper, and like a man possessed. I'm not listening or doing anything to any of you.
Okay. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
But by the way, Tyrion now has a scar across his face.
Yep.
It's not good. It's a 5.
So you're not able to grip any kind of writing utensil right now because of the burns on your hands.
I'm like in almost like fury over it. I just not scream, but just grip my holy symbol angrily. And if I can, I will pump my own healing spell into my hands just to be able to do something.
Okay. Yep, that's fair enough.
Would I see this happening?
Yeah, I'm not being
She's not hiding
about it.
You all can see this.
I was gonna say I like if I see it, I'll walk over there and be like, do you want me to write? I'll write it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen it yet and stuff, but his hands are scarred, freshly burned all through the palms and on the backs too. And but yeah, that's 6 healing, so I'm back up to full.
Okay. You're able to grip a writing utensil now. It's still not completely comfortable. Your handwriting is not going to be the same for a little while, but
yep, no problem.
No,
it's just
let Ro help.
Hey.
I don't need help. I need to get this down. And it's just, and yeah, I honestly too, I'll spend another spell giving myself the fox's cunning to help me remember.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's easy enough for you. So yep.
As much, yeah, I'm just everything as much as I can remember about the throne and the cage and whatever that thing was. And then like the obsidian platform, rivers of lava, like everything I can get down. And if I I'm not very good right now and stuff, but even if I can try to get a preliminary sketch down of what this thing looked like.
Okay. It's going to be pretty shoddy. Go ahead, give me a performance check. with disadvantage. I'm going to say you remember it very well. It's just whether you can sketch it out or not.
Yeah, while he does that, I'm just gonna like stand nearby and just like not know how to help.
11.
Okay, so with an 11, you can kind of make it out. It's pretty rough, but you can kind of the best you could with the state of your hands right now.
Yep, no, I get it.
So, Ro, you're having a hard time walking right now. Your back is just killing you.
God, that feels really real. I'm just gonna kind of like thump down and just like sit next to Halceris and just like kind of look around and just if anyone's so have they kind of like pieced out for Manticore shenanigans?
Oh, we're eating breakfast first, I thought.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're gonna do breakfast first.
Because so I'm just gonna look around and be like, yeah, guys, I think we're gonna have to talk about this.
Let's eat.
Yeah.
And then we can continue. I get everybody bowls, and you all get a bowl of this like just like a chopped kind of scrambled egg. And then a little package with a couple of little rice balls in it. So anybody who's eating breakfast can use their hit dice and gain an additional 1d8. And anybody who wants to eat the snacks gets they get
you'll get 2 temporary hit points.
2 temporary hit points.
So you all have your breakfast. At this point, you all notice how Ceres's hands and how burnt they are. You notice some of these scratch marks and stuff because Echo's got some of them on her face and stuff. You see Ro is being very gingerly with her back. And Steel, you still got a pounding headache.
Yeah, I think really for House Ceres, it's like putting down the bowl next to him and stuff, and it's like, I'm not hungry, thank you, no thank you. It just like, I'm not hungry, like kind of snap if anyone tries to offer it to him, and then like look and see how everyone else is, and it's just like,
just eat. You'll get through it. You're fine.
Don't take this the wrong way. Do you need someone to feed you? Because of your hands?
It's fine. I've taken care of it. You'll see it's like already like the magic is already healed up. It's patchy, but it's not exposed anymore. I'm sorry. But
I know the fight yesterday was a bit rough, but it didn't seem that rough. It
wasn't.
I would venture to guess that all of us have been experiencing something again. Nothing like what happened before.
Yeah.
Yep.
But worse.
Have we talked to each other about our dreams before? I don't think we have.
You did a little bit.
We mentioned that they had them, but I don't think we ever talked about them.
You didn't get into details.
Okay.
Yeah. This was more like this was less like a, hey, let's relive something that you don't want to do again, and more like a, hey, let's relive it but make it worse. and kind of real. And now it hurts.
I touch my scar, the new brand new scar that I got from Carson and Shadow. I'm like, hey, yeah, you know what you mean.
Yeah, and Ro just kind of like moves her like, you know, like the neckline, and it's just like purple.
Ooh.
Your whole back is bruised.
Ooh, that's not. That doesn't look too good.
Doesn't feel too good. I feel old.
We need to get out of here. We need to get to Nucir and warn them, help them. I'm not sure, but I do not wish to stay in this place any longer.
I
don't
think
think that's going to get us away from these visions or out of body experiences, whatever they are. But
yes, but I can actually do something when I'm not here.
I got you. We're getting out of here. Sorry about that.
I feel like something is, maybe it's different things, maybe lots of things, but something is chasing us.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Probably wouldn't be the last.
I don't feel like something is chasing me. I feel like something is pulling me.
I kind of want to be, I'm in the same boat with Echo. This is way outside what I expected. I don't know. I think it's a little different for each of us. We all have our own pasts to deal with, but no, I don't know. I don't know what I saw, whether it was a vision or if it was reality, but not comfy. I'll tell you that.
Alceris, do you want to talk about it, or?
I don't think this isn't pulling or chasing me. Whatever this is tormenting me. This is giving me hope, but nothing is as cruel in this world as hope can be. It is the greatest torture that you can inflict on someone. I need to get back to Nucir. I need to let someone know. Yes. Thank you, though.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all pack up your stuff and you depart this room back into the lair of the Manticore.
Don't want to miss the Manticore.
Hmm?
I want to on the way past the dead Manticore. I'd like to. I want to shave. I want to get some hair, a good little like chunk of Manticore hair.
Okay.
And a couple of spikes.
So you go to pull spikes and none of them are there. But what you do see all around the body of the Manticore looks like kobold footprints.
Yup. They went full on ants on it. Just
Are there
tore
teeth?
that thing apart.
There is no teeth.
No.
There is no tail spikes.
They ate the teeth?
They didn't eat them.
Took the whole thing.
You're gonna face a horde of kobolds armed with Manticore bits.
So you also see chunks of flesh from the side of this Manticore as well missing.
Are there any bones?
Can I get some? Yeah, can I get some Manticore ribs then?
Sure, you can get a
Manticore
manticore.
ribs.
Yeah.
I don't want a
Yeah,
rib. I just want
the bones.
like.
Like I want like the bones.
Okay.
I'll
it's
take
easy
like
enough.
The Manicore. Sorry.
If there's like a femur or something, I'll just take that.
So they didn't really take meat off the legs, so you would have to take time to try to carve it out.
Is there any? Okay, fine. Is there any open bone?
I mean, there's some of the rib cage is exposed.
Yeah, I want some rib cage, and I want some hair, manticore hair.
Yeah, the hair is easy enough to get. You can get one rib, or we'll say 2 ribs, 2 rib bones. You can get.
I want to grab it, but I'm gonna look at Tyrion and be like, "What are you planning to do with this?
Stuff.
What kind of stuff?"
What are you planning to do with all of this, Echo? Since we're asking.
I was planning to bury it.
How delightfully innocent of you.
Right next to your cow.
Hey, Bella was an integral part of this party. All right.
I agree. I don't disagree with you.
Let's just leave it there. Let's not bring her back up. Let's not bring her back up into this mortal realm.
Jesus. All right. Great.
Also, quick question for DM.
Yes.
Was there any relationship established between the Manticores and 2?
Not that
Or
you found out.
We didn't. Okay.
You attacked him before you even got to that point.
Okay.
Yeah, ask him all of that.
You didn't ask about it at all.
I know. You really suck.
I was ready to go. I was already waiting for the signal. But yeah. So some manticore hair, 2 ribs. Can I get a toenail real quick?
Ew.
Ugh.
They're gone.
The claws.
They took the toenail.
Well, they had
Are you
claws,
like
probably.
this?
Yeah, I wanted the claws. Yeah. But, all right. Cool.
They're gone.
Cool. All right, we move on.
Okay. So you go try to depart the same way you came in?
I think so.
Okay. So you proceed back down through the tunnels that you came through. You come to the first cliff. You still got your python and your rope hanging down from it. It's a 30-foot drop. Y'all are able to climb down that rope fairly easily. You continue on through further down this carved out tunnel.
Can I recover my python and rope on the way back? Or
Yeah.
free climb down.
I think it was my.
Nope. So this one was his rope. Your rope was on the other side because you got another part you're gonna have to climb back up.
Oh yeah, it's very true.
Yep. So you're able to recover your pythons and the rope. However, when you get to that other cliff, the first one you came down, the rope is not there.
Kobolds.
God, I wish we'd killed them all.
Yeah, hell. So there's that.
I'll climb up.
Okay.
Let's go with everybody.
Go ahead, give me athletics.
That'll be a 20, dirty 20.
Yeah, you're easy enough. You're able to get the 20 feet up the cliff. The pythons that you had left in this part of the cliff are still there. It's just they had just taken the rope.
All right, I'll just tie it off then.
Okay. What are you going to tie it off to?
The python. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna test the python, make sure that it fits, that it wasn't pulled out or anything.
Okay.
Maybe give it a couple of whacks to keep it in, and then tie off the rope.
Okay. Easy enough. The rest of you all are able to make it up. Go ahead. Give me a history check real quick.
Everyone?
Yeah, everybody.
If you say so, boss.
Here we go.
3. Okay.
Even
21.
as I was speaking, I was like, this gonna be bad.
There's my history. Oh.
That is a 10 for Echo.
10 for Echo. Okay. 21 for Steel. 3 for Row.
22.
22 for Halceris.
You just had to win.
I mean, if this is about finding our way out, I did draw the map
Okay.
as we were doing it.
Okay, so it's not so much trying to find your way out; it's remembering the traps that were there.
Oh, sure.
So,
Shit.
Steel and Halceris, you remember the spots where the traps were, so you're able to avoid. Oh wait, actually, you disabled most of them anyway.
Yeah.
But you still you do see them as you walk them by. You come back to the large chamber that does have another cave section going off or straight ahead, or you've got the other cave section that you came in from to the right. Do you wish to pursue any more of this cavern, or do you want to just head to the exit?
Get us out of here.
I look at the other tunnel and I said, "Bet those kobolds over there. I kind of want my way back."
I would go, but I think we all need to
Yeah, I agree.
regroup.
It's just
Maybe we can do it
a bit
another
of
time.
think out loud. I'll be back. It's all right.
Okay. So you all make your way back towards the exit of this cavern. And you take your time to crawl through that small little crawl space that you had to go through to get inside here. And you are now out on the side of the mountain. Looking down, you see New Seer off in the distance.
Well, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make this quick.
Okay. So about 4 hours. Oh, go ahead.
As we're walking, can I look at the map that we found, the etchings with the red marks, and just on my memory of New Seer, is it possible for me to know where these locations might be in New Seer, where these red dots might be, if it is like transposing it in my brain kind of thing?
Kind of. So you kind of get the idea that most of the marks are just within some of the housing areas.
Okay.
So we're just amongst the buildings. The only one that you can see that might be near any kind of a landmark would be, there does seem to be one near what you would guess would be Words Messaging, the messaging station that you had went to previously, as well as one near the Far Traveler, who does all the mage carts and the transportation and stuff in and out of New Seer. But the rest of them, from what you can kind of estimate with this, they just with somewhere within the housing, but they do seem to be kind of spread out.
I think I'll show it to everyone else and stuff, like as we're going, but like I think perhaps on the double, if this attack is happening quickly, if they destroy these two places, no one will be able to leave and no one will be able to send for help. It will take a week for any other city, any other civilization to send help this way, if they even know about it.
Seems like we have a way to protect.
See, I was thinking about that last night, and it could be an attack plan, or it could be places that they plan to attack where they already have agents. We know that they've got eyes there. Wouldn't be surprised if they've got somebody embedded.
I think we need to speak to the prince.
Is the prince trustworthy? That's the question we need to
ask.
ask.
I have a way of making sure of it.
Either way, as long as we make sure it's the real prince, then I think we can trust the real prince.
All right.
At least trust him enough to be worried about his own skin, you know.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're having this conversation as you walk back towards New Seer. Takes you about 3.5, 4 hours to get back. And you arrive back to the outskirts of New Seer. And you see a few farmers kind of look up as you start approaching. And as you get closer, they start to recognize you. Their eyes go wide. and some of them come rushing over to you. So, what happened in the mountain? What happened?
Killed it. It's dead.
You killed the other manticores.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they just all start getting big smiles on their face. One of them turns around and runs back towards the city.
There may still be some kobolds up there that need
Eradicating.
Yeah, or managed, whatever the case may be. But
so you got these. Now you're starting to see more and more farmers come in as they start, almost as if they're starting to celebrate, because you all have taken out the manticore threat, and you got just farmers coming up, hugging you, just patting you on the back.
We'd love to stay, but we need to go see the prince urgently. Perhaps we can all meet in the tavern sometime soon and celebrate.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely. Like, they're all excited. They're like, yeah, we'll see you there later, blah, blah, blah. And they all kind of go back to doing their work. So you all proceed back towards the city. You approach City Hall, and word has already spread in the 15 minutes it's taken you to get from the farms to City Hall. And people are just, as they see you approaching, they start cheering, calling out your names. And you even see some of the guards kind of look and they salute. They give you a little salute as you go by. And as you approach the front doors of City Hall, you see Deadeye still standing there, pulling watch.
How is
Answer. Just get this excited.
Very excited.
Yep.
No one is talking.
Yeah, I was just trying to decide whether to say Lancer or something rude.
So Deadeye just kind of looks at you and then just goes back to his guard post.
I'll just walk up to him and be like, we got the second one, so I don't think there's any chance of any of them coming back.
You see, probably for the first time ever, and it's a little unsettling, but you see a Warforged smile.
Didn't he smile when I said the first one? I killed the first one.
I think he said thank you.
Yeah, he's just said thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I lean over to Roy. Did he just smile?
If that's what that is, then yes.
That is
I was gonna giggle, and I'll say, now before you start looking forward again, once Lancer gets better, we have to have that sleepover, please. Just give me a fist bump.
He goes ahead and puts his fist out for you.
Yes. Okay. Go back.
Just did he?
Yeah.
Is the prince in, Deadeye? We need to speak with him quickly.
He nods towards you as acknowledging that yes.
The real prince?
He just looks at you.
As opposed to the fake one, you know?
The one that sent us.
He motions towards the door. It's like,
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you're sure? As I walk by.
I walk by and I raise my fist up.
He goes back to looking straight out.
Yeah,
See you later, Deadeye. Walk in.
It's all right. It's fine. Didn't want one anyways.
All right, so you all go into City Hall and you see all sorts of dignitaries and stuff now just rushing around, and everybody stops when they see you, and everybody starts clapping as you walk through. And then you approach the office of Prince Orgev, and you see him sitting behind a desk, just looking at some papers, scribbling some stuff out. He looks up, he sees you, and he goes real wide. My friends, come in, please.
Oh, friends.
Right. I walk in and I lean against a wall, all cool like.
I walk by and I just push him a little.
I would, if you'll permit me, DM, when I cross in, actually when we get past Deadeye, I'm going to say a quick prayer, and I'm going to cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay.
And so in casting that, I can see for the duration within 30 feet of me, I sense the presence and locations of poison, poisonous creatures, and diseases.
Okay. Yeah, so as soon as that goes off, you get a hint of poison coming from a couple vials, one located on House Saris, one located on Row. And that's about it.
Okay, but then like as we go in, it's kind of a preemptive thing.
Right.
So as we're walking in and they get into the office, and then if I don't sense anything, then I'll probably drop it.
Okay. Yep. So you don't pick up anything else as you're going through.
Secret scorpions hiding anywhere. Yes, Your Highness, it is. We have taken care of the problem, but I'm afraid
the heroes
something
of New Seer, please, we must celebrate.
In a moment, perhaps.
That's what the other prince said one time. And then you made us pay for it.
Yeah, still on about that, huh?
I mean,
My
yeah,
pocket still cries about it.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
Look, past is the past. You've saved the city. Now we must celebrate.
Of course.
In a moment. We need to have a word first.
Okay.
When he says that, I am going to say, I think too, it would be best if we were all honest when we answered. And I'm going to cast Zone of Truth in this office.
So
that is a Charisma 14 save. If anyone else wants to as well, you can willingly fail it. But I am aware if the creature fails or succeeds their save.
Yeah, I'm gonna willingly fail it, but it's gonna take a measure of terror.
So
it's a charisma save?
Yes. Charisma 14.
Yep.
Oh.
So Prince Orgev fails the save.
I want to know what Tyrion does.
I rolled. I failed to save.
Okay, and so
I
in this
fail.
Okay.
I too willingly fail.
All right. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can avoid answering questions if they'd like to, but you cannot willingly tell a lie right now if you've all failed it. So I will say, and then kind of look around to make sure, because it's just us and him in this office now, right?
Correct.
Do we feel this entire, do we feel it?
Yep.
Cast on us?
Yeah, so you get that sense that you cannot tell a lie.
I feel it
if you failed.
I feel it wash over me. I try to resist it, but the midway I was like, you know what? Nah. And just let it run its course.
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to ask each other questions, no one can lie, but it's not just to me. But I would say the prince, we have uncovered. Who are you really?
I'm Prince Orgev. Who else would I be?
That's what happened before.
An imposter like we had before. Remember? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. It's me.
This is a calculated sort of deal. So
I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Are you aware of a plot against New Seer currently from nefarious perpetrators?
There's always a plot against us. The Dark Lanterns, they don't like us. They don't want us to. We want to be separate. They don't want us to be. I mean,
are you aware of an imminent attack on New Seer?
You just took care of that, I thought.
Not that attack. Any others?
Not that I'm aware of.
This is going to be a weird question. Can we trust you?
I would hope so.
Oh, you use some double talk. Yes or no answers, please. We have uncovered the evidence of a coming assault.
From whom? Who's going to be attacking us?
Unfortunately, many of the members we have found refuse to be taken alive. We do know it is happening towards the end of the month. Steele, do you still have the letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
While dealing with the Manticores, we met an individual who appeared to be in charge, but he had this in is there a map of New Seer as well?
So he actually does have one on his wall.
Okay.
And now that you're looking at the map of New Seer and that drawing, it does look a lot like it's a quick, rough sketch of the city.
All we know is that there are many agents in this city lying in wait.
Who are they? Who are they working for?
As far as I can tell, the only lead I have is that they are working for possibly the Mockery. It is a chance.
As well, don't forget. Yeah, I pointed rope.
Wait, what was that you said?
Mordain.
Mordain's been dead for a long time now.
Yeah, the one we fought believed that he worked for him.
Oh, that's also House Tarkanan might have something to do with all of this, possibly. Well, the guy we killed was.
So as soon as you said House Tarkanan, he just kind of sits back and starts getting this really concerned look on his face. It's like assassins and spies.
Yeah.
There can be only one reason why they'd be here then.
What was it?
They want to kill me. They want to wipe out the last royal member of Seer.
That could be a possibility, yes.
It would end the chance of breaking the country into a separate piece. With the Dark Lanterns, I imagine this would be a good step.
Maybe. And he just kind of leans forward. And you said this attack is supposed to come when?
End of the month?
By the end of the month.
Somewhere along these
The
lines.
letter has the information there.
And so he looks at it. Says, well, the end of Therendor isn't for a little over a week away. So we'll just, I'll make sure I have my guards a little closer to me. And maybe when they see that, they'll just not worry about it. They'll stop.
You might also take a look at the map here that we found. we think there's a chance that these locations might be targeted, but also that there could also already be people infiltrating these locations.
Well, that would be easy enough. We take refugees in all the time. I mean,
right.
I tell you what, I'll send some of the guards out. We'll have them check out these locations, and we'll see if we can find anything.
Perhaps maybe we can look first. Not that I do not trust your guards, but I do not trust anyone at this point.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, y'all are the heroes of New Seer. As far as I'm concerned, I trust you all more than I trust my own guards at this point.
Well,
but tomorrow we're going to have a celebration. We got to celebrate what you all have done for the city. But what should we call you?
Oh,
can we have a moment to confer?
So I am actually going to go ahead and give you a week to confer.
Okay.
Because this is where we're going to go ahead and end it for this evening. So those of you who are watching, feel free to go ahead and put suggestions in the chat or hit us on Twitter, hit us on the Discord. If you got suggestions on what this group might call themselves, as they are now the heroes of New Seer for destroying the Manticore threat. But what lies before them, we don't know. As they start to unravel some of the mysteries of this cult that seems to be hiding in the shadows, shall we say. So what do you think, guys? How were your dreams tonight?
Oh, great. So happy.
Honestly, mine scared the bejesus out of me, but I only cried for one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I had to go right after it. I was like, are you kidding me? Give me some time to prepare.
So the dreams are being used as kind of a plot thing for as they each of these characters levels up to try to bring a little bit more forward with them. And they seem to realize now that I like to kind of torture them a little bit with those.
Only now. It took us this long.
We had no idea.
No, none whatsoever.
Like I knew you had a dog, but I didn't know you had a pet trauma llama. Like that's very cool of you.
Well done.
But no, I hope y'all are enjoying it though.
Heck yeah.
Even though it's a little bit of trauma for you, and we're all gonna maybe have a little harder time sleeping some nights, but the show must go on, right?
Tears are great right before you go to bed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it really clears you out.
Sometimes a good cry is what you need.
Hell yeah.
And you're gonna make sure that happens.
Exactly.
Thank you.
That's my job. I'm looking out for you guys.
Oh, obviously.
It really means a lot.
Yeah.
I made this for you.
Hey, I try to take care of my friends. That's all I'm saying. So it's been a fun night tonight, though. I'm definitely happy to be back every Monday on this. I look forward to it every week. Before we go ahead and take off for the night, though, we do have a few more announcements for you.
First thing, do not forget that you can subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel right now. So subscribing is free. Don't miss out on any of our shows. You can go back and you can watch some of our previous shows, like when Steele was ordered to kiss Alceris, and so forth. Please go check them out on YouTube right now. Like them, leave a comment, help other tavern goers find their way in. Okay, thanks.
Also, be sure to go ahead and visit overheadgames.com. Check out their amazing avatar maker tools. They are perfect.
Trolls. Not the sparkly cute ones. But the
Try
big
the dungeon.
The Vulcan Weave has ventured into a troll hole to help the deep gnomes, those fellows. And now the Weave is up to their necks in trolls. With all that regenerating, will this be a reoccurring problem? Be sure to check out our friends over at the Vulcan Weave every Tuesday, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. PST. That's specific. Is it? Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Right here at the Games Tavern. And if you have the stomach for it, stick around after the Vulcan Weave for our newest show, The Mist. Once they have you, they never let you go.
Yep. Got a lot of great stuff going on here at the Games Tavern. Go check them out as well. Like Mist comes immediately right after Vulcan Weave finishes on Tuesdays. So a lot of great stuff to go check out over there. But it has been a pleasure having y'all here this evening. Look forward to seeing y'all next week for the next bit of trauma I get to inflict on my friends here. But hopefully we will see you all again next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.